Most people will never admit this out loud, but they've stood in front of a mirror on a Friday evening, dressed and ready, and felt a quiet dread creeping in. Not because something bad was about to happen, because something good was already happening, right there, in the silence of that room, and they were about to leave it behind. This is for the people who understand that feeling in their bones. Science has a name for it: optimal arousal theory. Every human nervous system has a threshold, a sweet spot of stimulation where it functions best. For some people, that threshold is high. They need the crowd, the volume, the constant motion. Take that away and they feel flat, understimulated, almost invisible. But for others, that threshold sits much lower. Their nervous system reaches peak performance in quiet, in stillness, in a room they control. And here is the part no one tells you. Neither wiring is wrong. One is not stronger or more evolved than the other. They are just different operating systems running on different settings. But introversion only explains part of it. There is another layer that goes deeper. Psychologists call it environmental mastery. The world outside your door is fundamentally unpredictable. The noise level, the social dynamics, the energy of strangers, the way a casual conversation can shift into something draining without any warning. For people with high sensitivity or anxiety, that unpredictability is not just uncomfortable, it is genuinely costly. It takes real cognitive and emotional resources to navigate. Home eliminates that cost. You set the temperature. You choose the soundtrack. You decide the pace. That is not avoidance. For millions of people, it is just efficiency. Now here is where it gets interesting. Research consistently links solitude with higher creativity, stronger self-reflection, and more original thinking. Not because quiet people are smarter, but because deep cognitive work requires low distraction environments. The best ideas rarely arrive in loud rooms. They surface in the gap between one thought and the next, in the unhurried space that solitude protects. Society, of course, does not frame it that way. The dominant cultural script says that a full life looks full. Calendars stacked, social feeds active, always somewhere, always surrounded. The person who turns down the invitation gets quietly labeled antisocial, depressed, boring, missing out. But self-awareness is not the same as missing out. Knowing what genuinely restores you, rather than what you have been told should restore you, is one of the harder things a person can figure out about themselves. Most people never do. That said, there is a distinction worth making honestly. Some people stay home because it fills them. They wake up on a free Saturday and feel something close to relief. A whole day stretching open, unscheduled, and entirely theirs. Others stay home because the alternative feels impossible. Because anxiety has quietly narrowed the world down to a few safe spaces, and leaving them takes more than they currently have. Both experiences look the same from the outside. They feel completely different from the inside. The first is peace. The second is a signal worth paying attention to. For those in the first group, there is nothing to fix. Low stimulation preference is not a personality flaw waiting to be corrected. The morning routine that no one else sees, the particular corner of the couch, the evening that ends exactly when you want it to. These are not small things. For some people, they are the whole point. You do not need the world to be louder to prove your life is full. Some people are just built for depth, and depth by definition does not make noise.